So, if you remember, I've been saying for months now that it seems like the so-called anti-lockdown movement has been infiltrated by the same actors who are supposedly part of the far right. So, even in this staged event, there are examples of what I'm talking about. So, let's start off by introducing you to someone called Paul Golding. I'd have to say he has the most inappropriate use of the peace sign that I've ever seen. It's hilarious. So last week I showed you an example of what I'm talking about. I showed you Spectrum, who considers himself part of the anti-lockdown movement, who considers himself part of Piers Corbyn's movements and Haiku Ku's movements. Well, it's funny how Haiku moans about Tommy Robinson far-right thugs, but yet here's one of his best mates, Spectrum, actually there with Tommy Robinson, all friendly, so basically they have these so-called enemies, but it's all just drama. They control both sides, so they control the left and they control the right, the far right and the far left. So when Haiku Ku tells you that he got assaulted by Tommy Robinson fans, but then he's there with Spectrum, who is actually looking like he's part of that, whole movement with Tommy Robinson as well. So that's one example. Now let's look at another one in relation to Paul Golding. And by the way, there are other articles that I could have shown you, but they were so sort of disturbing I didn't really want to be quite honest. So I believe that actors on the far right have infiltrated the anti-lockdown movement, but they are just acting, pretending to be part of the anti-lockdown movement, when in fact they're just sort of state-sponsored actors. Okay, so I've shown you Paul Golding. As you can see here, it says he's a leader of a far-right group, right? Okay, black and white. Paul Golding, leader of far-right group. Yeah, so all these little shills, media consumer, for example, you can spend half an hour talking to Grey Bleeder about crap that no one cares about, okay? At the end of the day, that guy that you're talking to, trying to make out like he's one of us, incited violence against the police. You'll never get out of that. So just shut your mouth up, because no one cares what you're saying right now. You film actors, you're part of it as well, media consumer. So stop wasting your time, because all you're doing is making yourself look even more stupid. You're making Grey Bleeder look even more obviously a shill. So carry on. So anyway, the leader of far-right group, Paul Golding. Okay, so let's look at a picture that one of the subscribers sent to me recently. Let's see who is associated with this far-right leader. And remember all the things that he's been convicted of. Yeah. Right, so who poses for a picture with the far right Paul Golding? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, here we go. Wow. So I'll let you have a little look at that for a minute. Let's see how many of them you can recognise. Including Paul Golding, I recognise 4 people there. And how funny that Greybleeder on the left is wearing exactly the same t-shirt that he wore yesterday in Bournemouth while getting interviewed by his mate with shit hair, media consumer. Needs to get a bottle of frizzies. Well, 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 well. So yet more dirt on Mr. Greybleeder in the blue t-shirt. So now we have pictures of him posing with far-right leaders. You'll notice he's taken his earpiece out at that point. Greybleeder Marco exposed once again. Now he's there posing with photos with Paul Golding. So, who else do we see in that picture, guys? Grey hoodie, yeah. Gavin. Look, there he is on the right. And wouldn't you know it, he's standing opposite Greybleeder there as well. It's almost like they're both being paid to do certain work at these protests, isn't it? Because it's funny how they're both there mixing with the same people. So you've now got Greybleeder posing next to far-right leaders and Gavin posing next to far-right leaders, but yet Gavin you'll find with Haiku all the time, as you can see. Haiku here, who moans about the far right, but yet is hanging around and is associated with people who pose for photos with far right leaders. You could not make this up. Are you listening, media consumer? Bottle of frizzies. You look like a trampy scarecrow, media consumer. Yeah. So there's Spectrum threatening someone on camera. Haiku has no problem with that. There's Haikuku with Greybleeder, Gavin, and who's in front of him wearing police blue? That's right, Resistance GB. Who's Resistance GB? Oh, he's a Conservative politician who got kicked out for being racist. That's who he is. So all these people that go to the protests, when you see this man, realise that he's a Conservative politician who got kicked out for being racist. Also, remember this. He also, on one of his shows, was recorded wearing a t-shirt depicting the Prophet Muhammad, which obviously, out of all the millions and billions of t-shirt designs that you could have worn, you had to specifically pick one to antagonise a whole religion, a whole group of people. So you got Greybleeder, who incites violence against the police, and Bannerman, who uploads it, even though on YouTube rules and policies it says to not upload content that incites violence against a specific group of people. Well, Greybleeder did that by inciting violence against the police. So you've got Greybleeder, who incites violence against the police. You've got Haikuku, who's a communist who studied it for over 33 years. Communism responsible for over 100 million deaths. You've got Gavin here on the right-hand side, who you just saw with Paul Golding. Got more stuff on Gavin as well as on other videos we've recorded. And then you've got Resistance GB there, who's a Conservative politician kicked out for being racist and who also tries to antagonise a whole religion because that's the kind of guy he is. So those four people there, what a lovely lot, yeah? So don't anyone have the audacity to question my character, my personality, when I've just shown you these four people here and what they do. And there's stuff about these people that I know that I'm not going to say either. That's up to you to find out. You know what I mean? So I just mentioned to you, didn't I? Greybleeder incited violence against the police on camera, yeah, in Bradford. Here's another situation where he's basically inciting the police as well, on camera, as you can see, filmed by Rutley. Yeah. Oh, and here's another example. How many more examples do you need? Yeah. So anyone who paints this man out to be anything other than an agent provocateur, just remember they're on his side. So media consumer, he is on this man's side. He is on the side of someone who incites violence against people. Media consumer is connected to people who incite violence against groups of people. You're done. Yeah, so people like Media Consumer and Tyrant Finder who defend Greybleeder, they're defending someone who poses with far-right leaders, who incites violence against the police, and who I've shown you on this footage here and this footage here doing the same, inciting violence against the police. You don't have a leg to stand on, any of you. You're done. That's why you so upset with my channel. What a shame, innit? What a shame that we've got so much power. I feel like a demigod. You know what I'm saying? I bet you guys don't. I bet you feel frail and vulnerable, not knowing what's going to happen to you day after day. Just look how creepy he looks, just standing there, yeah? Everywhere you go, you see this man. And it just so happens he's the poster boy of showing 26th of September, you know, the violent police. No, it was staged. It was staged. And since I exposed it like 6-7 months ago, you've had people literally come and try to be my friend, to infiltrate me, to try and stop me doing what I'm doing, to threaten me, to threaten my family, to lie about me. You've done all of these things. So you got the actors here Yeah, and then you got the people who also come online to defend these actors who weren't possibly there, but trust me, there are a lot of people there, hundreds of these people. And remember, they're all traitors because they're doing this for money, and they've signed forms to say that they're not allowed to talk about it, so they're going against their whole country and humanity just for some money. Just for money. Can you imagine that? Think on that for a bit. Liars, creeps, agitating, provoking, inciting violence. Time after time, the same people. Anyone who defends this man is a snake. Simple as that. And you're part of it. Only people who are on his side would defend this man, and he's on the side of the elite. Simple as that. Pretending like he's one of us, an average protester. Oh really, is that why you wear an earpiece? I know you're not listening to music. Yeah? You're really going to be listening to music in the middle of police scuffles, are you? Funny how you weren't wearing one there though, isn't it? Yeah? And he had the audacity to say that the police stole his phone. Oh really? So have you taken them to court over it? You got any proof that they stole your phone? I've never seen you with a phone, ever. Like the only man in 2021 who doesn't have a phone in England. Yeah? Sick, man. Sick. Also wanted to show you these photos here. So that's Paul Golding and his far right group, Britain First, and as you can see, they walk around with massive crosses. I'm not a religious person, but I can't even look at that, because I know that I don't believe that they're doing that for the right reasons. I really don't. You can even look at their face and the eyes. Just, I don't know, man. You tell me in the chat, what do you think about this? And then both of them doing the peace sign. Do they actually know what peace means? Do they actually know what the word peace means? I'd ban them just for doing the peace sign. Crazy world we live in. It is literally a crazy world that we live in. But it makes more sense now than it ever did. So let's summarise, yeah? Let's summarise. I said to you, the elements of the far right, the actors of the far right, have infiltrated the anti-lockdown movement, and they're acting, pretending to be us, one of us, but in fact they're not, okay? So I showed you Paul Golding, who's leader of a far right group, and that showed you all this. Yeah. And basically, who should be next to him, posing for a photo? That's right. Grey Bleeder on the left, blue t-shirt. Yeah. And Gavin, white hoodie. And look how they're both there at another event, another staged event. With resistance, conservative politician kicked out for being racist who wears picture of Muhammad because he tries to antagonise the whole religion of people. Earpiece. Inciting against the police. Physically confronting the police in front of random people. Agent provocateur. And he also did it at Bradford. On camera, incited violence against police. That's a fact. Nothing Torrent Finder, media consumer, and all the other shills can say about that. Okay? So, like I said, and I've provided you with yet another example. Actors who play parts of the far right have now infiltrated the anti-lockdown movement. Okay? Simple as that. So let's leave you with this. Grey Bleeder and Gavin posing next to Paul Golding, leader of far right party. Okay? Where there's darkness, we shine our light the brightest. If you still don't get this, look at my About Us page, and if you still don't get it, then go back to sleep. Peace to those with good intentions. Peace to those who have supported me for a long time now. Peace to Mrs. Overkill, my queen, and my beautiful daughter, and the rest of my family and friends. Nearly at 3,000 subscribers. They can't fight us. They've already lost. Peace for now.